Welcome to Life Talk, a production of Maranatha Ministries, with Shoshannah Frank Rausch, a ministry director at Maranatha, and Jene Gardner, president of Phoenix Rising Counseling Services. These lifelong friends discuss the spiritual and emotional challenges that face us all. Using biblical characters and personalities, they help us see that we are not alone in any of our emotions, positive or negative, and show us how we can be more than conquerors. If you'd like to speak with either Shoshannah or Jene, you can reach them by email at lifetalk@mmchurch.com. And now be blessed by today's presentation of Life Talk.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Life Talk. As you can see, I am here alone today. Jene's daughter, her youngest child, just had surgery earlier this week, and she is with her. She's safe, she's healthy, she's just doing she's home recovering, and so Jene is with her. So I called my dad today and I said, I reminded him about the things that he always told me growing up was to be instant in season and out of season. So I asked him if he would be instant out of season. So I'm going to have him come on with me today. Hey, Dad.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
So thanks for joining me again today.
You're quite welcome. And the ugly version of Jene is back.
You're ridiculous.
I do make light of that, but we do want to keep Jene. Which daughter is it that's in the
Hadley, the youngest.
Hadley. We do want to keep Hadley in prayer, and we want Jene to know that we are praying for Hadley.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
For her family, and that God will bring them through this.
Yep.
And get through this.
Absolutely.
But we do send our love and support for Jene and for Hadley.
Absolutely. So, instant in season and out of season, you were ready to roll because I said, I knew what Jene and I were going to be talking about, but it was kind of last minute. So when I called you up today and asked you if you wanted to do it, you immediately sent me over an article that you that you wanted to discuss. So, and that article is about contentment. And I mean, that's a great topic because I think, well, if you're human, you struggle with contentment and being content. We live in an instant gratification society and, keeping up with the Joneses. And so let's discuss it a little bit. Let's discuss the article.
Yeah, I came across this article actually, and I sent it over to you a couple of days ago, and I know you haven't had a chance to look at it, but I sent it over because, as you know, I do Maranatha Minute on Tuesday evenings. But this was, and I first looked at it and I thought, well, here's something I could talk about in Maranatha Minute. But as I looked at it, I realized it's much more in depth than what I do in 5 minutes on a Maranatha Minute session. And yet it is something that certainly does go along with life talk. It's about life.
Absolutely.
And I thought it'd be something great for you and Jene to touch base with. I don't remember, although I have seen every one of your sessions. I don't remember last week if you finished something or if you're in the middle of something.
Well, we were doing fruits of the spirit, and
right.
We did the joy of the Lord last week, and I think we were going to kind of try to stay on the same kind of fruit of the spirit theme.
Okay, well then we can start this. This is very in depth. I should say it's in depth. It's more than what you and I will finish talking about today, and it does certainly go along with the fruit of the spirit. So maybe you and Jene can just pick up where we leave off and
absolutely
and carry on. But
yeah,
I came across this article on contentment. And I found it very interesting when I read it. We live in a society. America is unlike any other country on the planet. I think we have so much, and so much is available to us. Some of these third world countries, believe it or not, as hard as it is for them to live, the one thing that they have over on us is they don't have this attitude of, and I'm not. I can't. The word's not coming to me right now. They don't have this attitude of needing more to be satisfied, wanting more to be satisfied, because they learn to be satisfied with what they have. Because really, a lot of people don't have any more than they have, and they're satisfied with the bare necessities of life. And we in America don't have that. We have so much put before us on television, on internet, on Facebook, and incidentally, I read if we don't get to this actual article today, you and Jene can pick it up, because all these thoughts are flashing through my mind.
Well, it's funny because last time you and I did Life Talk together, we got to laughing about how every time someone says a word, you always start singing a song that has to go with it.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know, you said bare necessities, and now I have bare necessities rolling through my head, but I didn't want to smile because you were, you're talking about serious stuff, and I've got bare necessities. So sorry, go ahead.
Well, at any rate, I read a phenomenal article. So I don't even remember where I read this. It might be in this book that I'm reading, but it talked about social media and how social media leaves us so dissatisfied.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we only see the best of other people's lives.
Right.
People aren't putting up their bad days.
I'd like to say that it's not even the best of their lives. It's called a filter, because I've seen some pictures of people on Instagram, and then I see them in real life, and I'm not kidding. I wouldn't be able to pick them out of a lineup.
Yeah.
With some of the filters they use.
Yep.
So you're actually comparing yourself to something that is not attainable because you can't walk around in real life with a filter.
Not only is it not attainable, but if you look at your own life, you could find something good that happened.
Absolutely.
Right? You can find something good that happened to you. But what happens when we're affected, how we're affected by social media, is that I get on social media and you post the one good thing that happened to you. Okay. There's Shoshannah posting, this great thing happened, didn't happen to me. Then the next thing I come upon is another one of my friends, and they're posting the one good thing that happened to them. And then the next friend is posting that one good thing that happened to them. If I really looked at my own life, I could find one good thing, but we're not looking at one good thing. We're looking at your thing. God did this for you, did this for you. And before you know it, it's almost like we put all of this stuff that's happened upon everybody else as the group is as one person.
Right. Yeah.
God's doing all these things for, and for me, he's not doing this. And we end up being so dissatisfied. And that's the social media at the start was a wonderful thing. I could check in with family that's out of town. We can look on Facebook and see what Liz is doing down in Texas, but it's become this thing where we want to project an image that really isn't our real life.
Right.
But it leaves the rest of us thinking God's left us out of all the blessings.
Yeah, that's good.
So contentment has become a tremendous battle in our day. Because we think everybody else is being blessed, but we're not. The truth is we are, if we just look at our own lives.
Yeah, but one of the things that it said in the article that you sent was, this idea of, and it kind of goes along with what you were just saying with social media and things, is that people start to believe that contentment is earned. That it's something that they can earn. So, if I can just get that promotion at work, then everything will be great. If I could just get that new car, I'll be content. If I could. So I think that's one of the things that we kind of get confused about, is that contentment isn't earned, and the Apostle Paul says it in Philippians 4:10, he figured out that contentment is learned, that it's not earned. And he even says, I have learned to be content. So you're learning, and it goes along with, what you were saying. We have to learn to be content with the things that we have, rather than thinking that we can earn this contentment.
Yeah. And let's talk about learning for a moment. And that's as far as we get today. That'll be great. It'll be something for you and Jene to pick up on next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
But our society that we live in here in America is geared to make us unhappy, to make us dissatisfied with our circumstances, with everything. Our car isn't as nice. You pull up to. In fact, I remember my dear friend, Brother Stephen Spite. I remember him preaching about this years ago. He said he pulled up at a red light, and he was driving as many ministers have to, this old jalopy, this old broken down jalopy, and he pulled up to a red light, and he was sitting at the red light, and he looked over, and here comes right next to him this fast hot rod car that was all shiny and red and, just looked beautiful. And he almost felt embarrassed. He almost felt ashamed that he's sitting there. He's got to sit there next to this guy at a red light in this, clunker that he's driving. And he said, the Holy Ghost spoke to me and told me that if I would see this man, not in his car, but in his eternal destiny, and see me not in this car, but in my eternal destiny, I would not envy him.
Yeah.
I would absolutely. I would feel sorry for him. I would pray for him. And that is the problem with this society that we live in that offers us so much. And it's so easy now to get a new car. It's so easy to get a house. It's so easy to, there's so many things that we have going on. And it's so easy to think that it is all of those things that are going to make us content. And the moment our job isn't working out exactly right, boy, if I could just get a new job, if I could get a different job, make a little more money, have fewer hours, then I could be content and be happy. Boy, if I could just have a car like that guy sitting next to me at this red light, then I could be happy. And the real problem is we are focusing on the wrong things, because I think you just quoted the Apostle Paul saying that I have learned to be content. Learned. You graduated from school. You know what learning new things is like. In fact, I know. I don't mean to reveal some of your secrets, but I know what some of your homework assignments were because I did some of them for you. Yeah. In fact, Liz still talks about the day she'd come into my office at 10 o'clock at night with this project that was due the next morning, and I would holler and scream, and she'd get up the next morning, and there it would be, all done for her. Yep. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, we have to learn. We have to learn. How do you learn? You learn by studying. You learn by experience. You learn by reading the scriptures. You learn by figuring out, what should I be satisfied with? What does the Bible say I should be satisfied with? I hear a rumbling. Is that my microphone or is that you?
No, it's probably me. I'm fidgeting because I fidget. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I'm not. Okay. But what you're saying actually, it reminds me of, we used to go to Saratoga and get coffee usually on the weekends. Yeah. And I remember one day in Saratoga, we were sitting at the coffee shop. We were out on the sidewalk, and this Lamborghini pulls up. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. The guy's in the Lamborghini. He gets out of the Lamborghini, and he had to stay by his car because if he walked away from his car, no one would know he owned a Lamborghini. And I remember you actually back then commenting on that about, when he walks away, he's just another everyday guy.
No. You got the story a little bit wrong. You were you were the one that coined the phrase. Because I'm not. There was a kid there who rode up on a bicycle. I was leaving that
out, Dad. I was leaving that out on purpose.
The kid rode up on a bicycle. What do you have, a green helmet or something?
Yeah, green helmet.
He just looked goofy. All right.
He had a bright green helmet on.
And when that guy pulled up in that Lamborghini, who thought he was all that and a bag of chips, the moment and you and I both stood there with our coffee watching this guy, and the moment he walked away, you looked at me, you said, once he walks away from that Lamborghini, he's just another guy in a green helmet. But what you were saying was,
be content with what you have.
What you were saying was, your things aren't what make you who you are.
Right.
Because once you walk away from your thing, you're just another face in the crowd.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so absolutely.
We have to make sure we don't find our self-identity, our self-worth. Let's put it that way. Our self-worth is not in the abundance of things possessed. It's not in the abundance of things possessed. Our self-worth has got to be found in Jesus Christ. Absolutely. So if I have a new car, my self-worth is not increased. If my new car breaks down and I got to go get a used car and now I'm driving around in a jalopy, my self-worth isn't decreased because my self-worth is found in Jesus Christ. And
Paul even says that at one point. I've learned the secret of being content in every and any situation.
There you go.
Every and any. In fact, there's actually a statement in this article that I love, and it says the school of hard knocks taught Paul that you learn, not earn contentment, which is a great lesson for our society for sure.
That is, you learn, not earn contentment. And I think that's as far as we should go, because
absolutely,
I think next week, myth 2 and myth 3 that you and Jene can pick up on. I'd love to hear you guys talk about it. But listen, this is how we feel. And you already mentioned a few of these. If I can just get that promotion, if I can just get that new car, if I can just get enough money in the bank, if I can just find a spouse, the right woman or the right man, if I can just, if only I was single, I could be happy, So sometimes once you get married, you think, oh, if only I was still single. And that's why we have such problems in our world, because everybody thinks that next thing is what's going to make me happy. And you know what? Things don't make us happy.
Yeah.
And the lack of things don't rob us of our happiness.
Right.
What makes us happy is finding peace and contentment in our relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. We need to focus on where we're going and on our eternity, not on the here and now.
What we're doing now. Yep.
And think that
because at the end of the day, when you walk away from that bigger house or that nicer car, once you walk away from that, you're just another guy in a green helmet. I mean, you're just remember that every time you think you want something new or you need the bigger, better thing, you're just another guy in a green helmet.
Once you walk away from it, you get that beautiful house. Well, once you walk away from that house and you're at the mall,
no one knows.
You're just another guy in a green helmet.
Unless you wear a sign that has your address on it with the Zillow attachment for people to know you live there, it means absolutely nothing.
And then you're a nutcase.
Right.
If you're going to do that, then you're egotistical.
Exactly.
So it's a lose-lose.
Exactly.
So learn. It doesn't come naturally.
And if you need to learn, go into Philippians 4. Paul will teach you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
On how to be content and how to learn to be content.
And you can learn it.
Absolutely.
You can learn how to live for God. You can learn how to be content. You can learn how to be saved.
Yep.
You can learn the salvation plan as preached by the apostles.
Absolutely.
You can learn those things. None of this things in the supernatural or the spiritual come naturally to us.
Right.
We have to learn them.
And that brings us back to you and I did an episode once about breastfeeding. And it's so, you just said everything in the supernatural does not come natural. You have to learn it. And it just brings me back to breastfeeding. That's such a natural thing, but mothers don't naturally know how to do it. The baby doesn't naturally know how to latch. You have to teach it. They have to learn how to do it.
You're right.
And yet it's such a natural, it was instilled in us. It was a natural thing that God gave us. Well, so is salvation, and so is, contentment and all of these things, but it's still things that we have to learn. We just don't.
How easy is it once you learn it? Once that baby learns how to latch on,
nature.
It's second nature. Once the mother learns how to do it, gets through the difficulties. I remember with Mom, I mean, I wasn't as obviously as involved with you as I was when your mother was breastfeeding, how much pain and discomfort she went through to get over that initial learning process. And once she did, it was so easy. It was so easy to comfort you.
The best advice I was ever given was by Ashley. And she said, if you can just make it 6 weeks. And that's really how it is with anything. It takes time to learn, to form a new habit, to form. So with learning contentment, you're not going to be perfect at it overnight. It takes a learning. You got to stick with it. You got to keep with it. You got to keep doing it until eventually it does become second nature.
Yeah. I want to wrap it up with a statement that's in a book that I'm currently reading.
Yeah.
And it's talking about chew. The title of this sub chapter is called "Chew or Choose." All right.
Yeah.
And the one statement that sums it up pretty much is this, and it really will help you. It says, don't chew your thoughts, because that's what we do. Oh, I wish I had that car. And then we chew on it. And we, just keep pondering it and thinking about, oh, if I just get that new house, oh, I can't believe I lost that job. I can't believe they didn't give me that job. And we chew on it and we chew on it. It says this: don't chew your thoughts, choose your thoughts.
That's good.
Choose them, because you don't have to waste your time thinking about things.
Yeah.
You can focus your mind and choose the thoughts that are going to benefit you spiritually, benefit your life, benefit your own emotions, your own soul, your own family. You can choose those thoughts. You don't have to chew on every thought that comes into your mind, every disappointment that comes into your mind, or every time you see somebody with something you don't have. You don't have to chew on that.
Yeah.
You can choose to think on something different.
That's good.
That's from the book, by the way. I don't want to take credit for that. That's from the book Out of the Cave. Someone gave me this book after my sermon on Sunday, where I was very transparent. And if you haven't listened to my sermon this past Sunday, I encourage you to do it. Get on YouTube or Facebook, search Maranatha Ministries, wherever you're watching this right now, and listen to my sermon from last week entitled "The Lord is My Shepherd." But it's simply a book entitled Out of the Cave by Chris Hodges. And that statement comes from that book. So it's an excellent book, Out of the Cave. So
excellent.
Choose your thoughts. Don't chew on every thought that flesh or this world sticks in your mind. You don't have to chew on that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Dad.
My pleasure. I love coming on. Maybe one day I'll come on with you and Jene. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, we were actually talking. It would be fun to have you, but we'd love to have you and her dad, the four of us bantering.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be a lot of fun.
Brother Stephen Beatty is one of the greatest men I know on this planet.
He is. He's top notch.
He is the greatest. I'll just leave it at that. He's just a great man. You'd be blessed to have him on, and anybody listening would be blessed to listen when he's on.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, so our goal is to coordinate for the four of us to go on.
I would love it. Let me know when.
Yeah, we'll do. But thanks again for covering and stepping in and being instant in season and out. I appreciate it. Love you. And God bless everyone.
What you preach, right?
Huh?
Got to practice what you preach.
Oh, absolutely. One thing you're good at. So, but thank you. God bless everyone. And we will see you here, same time, same place next week.
Amen.